Welcome to the BXG Podcast, the podcast where pop culture and nerd culture meet.
You think it's just going to be barbecue sauce?
Because if you actually read those books, it's just gobbledygook.
I really think clothes should be mandatory.
Speaking of Star Wars,
Captain America.
trailer reaction video. Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Marvel Studios presents a Marvel Studios special.
Yes.
So Yondu ruins Christmas for Peter Quill, and so Mantis and Drax decide they're going to save Christmas / make it up to him / whatever by giving him the best gift of all time, Kevin Bacon. So they travel to Earth where they participate in some different kind of hijinks, hang out at a bar, make a bunch of money, lose a bunch of money. They make a bunch of money by taking pictures with people who think that Drax, I believe the joke is made, yay, I got a picture with the God of War. I believe they believe he is Kratos from the game God of War. And so they make a bunch of money, and then they lose all their money drinking, and they get slumped, which you can kind of see behind you there. And then they find their way to Kevin Bacon's house, and they abduct him to nowhere, which is the severed celestial head that they purchased from the collector, apparently, and are remodeling. So that's fun. And they save Christmas for Peter, kind of. And Kevin Bacon performs music and different voices and so on and so forth. And then we learn that Yondu didn't actually ruin Christmas for Peter Quill at all.
Right.
So the Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday, the special.
I was prepared to think this was like not really, I would say like not enjoy it because I don't want to say that, but I was prepared for this to not be like entertaining. And I was actually surprised that it was like at least somewhat entertaining. It was 40 minutes or so. It wasn't that long, which was helpful.
Yep.
I do like that it was Mantis and Drax just kind of being the stars of it because they play off of each other very well.
Right.
Because he's so dumb and then she's actually smart and like the back and forth, but then they still like to hang out with each other. And then the Kevin Bacon thing was just really, really funny. And so, and at the end of the day, it was like, they did this for Peter and he was touched by it, but it was still like, you don't steal Kevin Bacon to do this. And then Kevin Bacon makes new friends.
Right.
And so I'm actually surprised to say this. Like, I enjoyed watching this when it was over. Like, I was watching it like 15-minute bits. I was like watching it and doing something and then watching it and doing something. But I wasn't discouraged by it. And then there was still actual plot development where we find out that Peter and Mantis are related. And so that was interesting in the fact that they, bought Nowhere too. It was like, oh, this is like they have a home base now. Like, so there was a thing. And I think they filmed this while they were also filming the third movie, like doing it right at the same time. So I like that this wasn't a nothing special either. It was like, oh, here's some minor plot development, I guess you could say. Not like major, not like holy cow, but still fun enough. And we also, see Groot grown up.
Yeah.
Which is like shocking. I mean,
grown up Groot, it was like weird because it was like full body grown up Groot, but it still had baby Groot's face.
Right.
And that was like,
because he's only half grown.
It was really unsettling to me.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Shouts to Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel too for their 2 minutes of nothing
being involved with this
and getting a good paycheck. But no, I walked away where I was like surprised I was not like upset about it. I was thinking it would be bad because a lot of times these are bad, these kind of things. And no, I was like, there's nothing laugh out loud funny, but I like the bar scene where they were just getting hammered. That was funny. I did like how they made money and then they lost money. And I like how Mantis used her little power to control people's, minds, including Kevin Bacon. So,
right.
No, I thought at the end of the day, like, it was exactly what it should have been. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, I think that a couple things worth pointing out. We did the trailer reaction. We saw that the main story was going to be that they abduct Kevin Bacon, and we agreed that, okay, this looks like it's probably going to be pretty much senseless humor, which is fine. That's kind of what, like you said, what you want in something like this, where it's centered around a theme that's not really too serious or too involved when it comes to pushing the canon of the MCU forward. But I thought that it delivered on that sort of zaniness promise that the trailer showed. And I think that it was just funny enough to hold your attention. And I thought that there were some genuinely, like you said, not necessarily like laugh out loud, but there's definitely funny moments. I thought that Mantis what's her name?
Palm Clementif.
Yeah. Kind of, I mean, she was the scene stealer in this. Like, this was her show. And I kind of appreciated too that we did get more of just her and Drax, because so much of the story in the other Guardians movies, and then even their appearance in Infinity War, is based around Peter, Gamora, and Rocket. So to kind of see those two get to take center stage a little bit more was exciting. And it's probably worth noting too that you and I aren't big Guardians fans. I mean, I'm a big Cleveland Guardians fan, but not Guardians of the Galaxy fans. And so to come away from this with any enjoyment at all was a bonus. And I thought that I don't know that it exceeded expectations per se, but I think it met expectations.
Like, I guess it exceeded my expectations just because, like, I wasn't prepared to like it. I thought it was going to be like, I thought the Kevin Bacon thing would be fine or whatever, but I almost thought it was going to be like too corny the more I thought about it. And when I actually fired it up, when you mentioned to me it was on, and actually, like, you mentioned it right as I saw that it was on too, and I was like, "Oh, we'll see." But like I said, they knew exactly what to do with this too, keeping it at 40 minutes or whatever, not making it an hour. I think that was like a really big decision to not add 20 minutes of like nothing fluff to it. It just happened, and then and then also to be within the storyline made sense, and that was good.
I think that Kevin Bacon works. Obviously, we know that Peter Quill thinks that like Footloose is the greatest movie of all time and everything, but I think Kevin Bacon works with this because he's kind of a corny guy, just like in general. And so that kind of fit the motif. Like, I like Kevin Bacon, but he is sort of this like 6 degrees of 6 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon.
Yep.
And he's just kind of like kind of this sort of washed up, not really, but kind of washed up actor. And I just thought it worked. It worked for me. I liked it. I don't know that this is something that I would like add to my regular rotation of holiday classics each year, but it was good for the moment.
Yep.
And it worked. So, and it kind of gave us a nice little sort of prologue to Guardians Volume 3, I would say. I think that's the other kind of nice.
I would agree with that. 100% agree.
So what would you give this?
I would give this like a 6.5.
Yeah, I would say 7.
Yeah, I just feel like because I was expecting, like I said, I thought it was going to maybe I honestly thought it would be like an hour before I actually saw like the actual timeline. I was like, oh, an hour. I know it sounds funny, but like adding 20 more minutes to this would have made it bad. There's just because there wasn't anything extraneous about this. Every part worked. It was bing, bang, boom, and we were out the door. That was fine.
I think that we've had this discussion before that I know specifically with the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows, and really with the Marvel shows, Disney has gotten a lot wrong. Yes. But the one thing that I really feel like they have gotten very right is that they are not beholden to any time slot.
Yeah.
It's all, you know what I mean? An episode will be as long or short as it has to be, or like this being a special, as long as short or as it has to be. And I think that, like you said, if they would have tried to cram another 20 minutes of whatever into this, I think that makes it not unwatchable, but certainly less enjoyable.
Yep. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.